first comic, so give a warm round of applause for Marian Dodds.
Thank you, Janet. Hi, everybody. My name is Marian, and I am an insomniac. You know, I used to lie awake at night, fretting about all the problems of the world. But then, 6 weeks ago, I discovered comedy, and now I lie awake thinking about the most bizarre headlines I read. For example, should other species have money? And then I visualize a whole row of kangaroos lined up in front of a candy shop, jingling coins in their pouches. Sometimes I think way back in the past. Like, I was in a ferry lineup to buy something to eat when this man came up to me and started chatting as if he knew me. And I was racking my brain, who is this, who is this? Finally, I get up the nerve and I say, I'm really sorry, but I just can't remember your name. Hoof, he said, and stormed off. I thought, what's his problem? And then, as I was biting into my salmon salad sandwich, it came to me, holy shit, that was my ex-husband. It's true. You know, I've got a brother that lives in the countryside, and he's got a problem with squirrels in his attic. So he told my two siblings that live down here on the phone that he was thinking of trapping them because they were driving him nuts. So each of them independently said, now remember, we grew up in the Arctic, and what the Inuit people taught us is, if you kill it, you have to eat it. Well, shortly after that, I got wind of the fact that he had caught a couple of squirrels. So I pulled out my Northern cookbook, I looked at squirrels in the index, and I copied squirrel fricassee, squirrel hot pot, and so on, and I emailed him these recipes with the subject line, I think you might need these. Shortly after that, I received a text from him saying, thanks, I put them in the freezer for your next visit. You know, about a month ago, everybody was fussing about daylight savings times, and I thought, you know, people, get a grip. You should move to Ethiopia. I lived there for several years, and you have to really make a lot of adjustments there. For example, they have 13 months in the year. But even more interesting, they follow a different calendar altogether. So, in fact, they are 7 years and 8 months behind us. So right now, it's true, in Ethiopia, it's 2014. So, the good news for seniors then, of course, is that you're 7 or 8 years younger if you go there. And even better is they tell time differently. So, for instance, if it's around just after 5 here, well, let's say it's 5:30 here, well, there, they would say that that's 11:30 in the afternoon because they have a dusk to dawn, dawn to dusk, 12-hour cycle. So the really good news there for seniors is you don't ever have to bother with Sudoku anymore to keep your brain active because you figure out what time it is all the time or what year it is, right? Or what month it is because there's 13 months. So the other thing is, though, that you will never ever, because they have only 3 seasons, you'll never have to spring forward or fall back ever again. So I was thinking, you know, of all my, I've done a lot of travel, and I was thinking, you know what, maybe I should pitch a book to Lonely Planet. I was thinking of calling it Piss Off, A Woman's Guide to Travel on African Buses. Now, I was on a bus once in Tanzania with another woman, and we could not afford the $10,000 tourist safari on our little volunteer stipends. So we took the $2 local bus because we wanted to see the game park. So as we were watching, we were watching a movie on the bus that showed a whole family of white people being eaten one by lions because their idiot father wouldn't listen to the advice of the locals. And we were joking, ha ha, I bet those people in that, you know, $10,000 safari don't get to see movies like this. And all of a sudden, the bus driver stopped. And he told us, he said, Game Park entrance is 1 kilometer that way. And he pointed to a dirt track. Oh my God, are there lions? Possible, he said, and drove off in a cloud of dust. So that, you see, when I do my book, will be my triple F formula. Fit, fast, and fearless. So what do? Well, we pissed in the ditch to mark our territory, and then we just sped walk right to the gate yelling, Hakuna Matata, don't worry, be happy, in both official languages. But you know, I don't want to be too hard on tourists. I was on a shuttle bus once in rural Ethiopia to the airport, and these guys behind me were chatting. One asked the other, what do you do for a living? And he said, oh, I work for Amnesty International. And the other guy said, oh, that's interesting. And then he said, what do you do? And he says, I'm a debt collector for a sex toy company. So, you've been a great audience. I'm just going to leave you with this. Doctors say that insomnia means you won't live as long. But now, thanks to Janice, I don't care. I plan to die laughing. Thank you.